They just keep getting better and better and more productive from that standpoint. It all starts with Aaron Rodgers and just all the great things that he can do at the quarterback position. Really is still able to, change plays at the line of scrimmage, get him in the perfect plays, dissect what the defense is doing, see the coverages, push the ball out to his go-to players. He's got a lot of them out there that he can get the ball to. But I think the biggest difference that you'll see is the change in personnel groupings. They're going to see a lot of different personnels out on the field, see a lot of different formationing, motioning, shifts, things like that, pre-snap that kind of try to distract from the defense. And then when the ball snapped, it's still back in Aaron Rodgers' hand.
All right, they really got their run game going this past week against the Dallas Cowboys. Aaron Jones had a great game from that game. What do we see from him here?
Yeah, this is a great clip just to kind of see his versatility and his explosiveness and how strong of a runner he is. Again, I think they've done a great job of incorporating the stretch run game into some of the different looks that they've had this year, different formations, different kind of systems where they're, maybe faking the RPO or the swing pass, but they hand it off inside. And you can really see the offensive line's doing a great job of creating space and just allowing the backs to cut back and get downhill. Violent stiff arm. He's a hard runner, explosive player, gets in the secondary quick and just is doing a great job of keeping his balance and scoring and finishing the runs. I think that's the biggest thing that you see from him. He's just a guy that's very explosive when he has the ball in his hands and someone that's just been dynamic and kind of been able to do that down in, down out for him.
What's your defense need to do to be able to contain this run game?
Well, it's certainly, it's a big task for us with this offensive line. I think they're doing a great job of creating the space. We want to make sure that we're not overplaying some of those blocks. We want to make sure we're kind of getting downhill and not giving them that space to kind of dip in and dip back out and then get vertical. Those are the things that are just, continually showing up on tape that you can see they're taking advantage of and really hurting defenses.
Aaron Rodgers at the helm, he can hurt you in so many different ways. This is just one of the ways he scrambles on this play here and makes a big play for the Packers.
Yeah, absolutely. Fourth quarter, this is where this guy is at his best, and he handles pressure extremely well, and he understands the situation. Really just a heads-up play by him in this situation. He knows, they need a field goal to win the game. The game's tied. It's late in the fourth quarter. It's 43 seconds. He's waiting for the routes to get open downfield, kind of understands that the defense has their back turned. They're pushing downfield, allows the pass rush to kind of work by him, and then he just recognizes it, takes off, and starts running. So you can see he can just change field position. He can gain 20, 25 yards here really at no time at all, and it's just as good as a deep ball downfield and puts himself in a position to be able to go down and score and win the game. Very smart, very calm, understands situational football extremely well, recognizes coverage, recognizes pass rush, and understands when he can go out and make a big play, which he does right here just in a very calm manner, and it's a huge play in the game. It changes everything for him. So just continually shows up and does it every single week.
And sometimes he'll scramble just to extend the play and then still throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, he's, master at that stuff. He can get out of the pocket, get out, keep his vision downfield. They do a great job. Devontae Adams, all those guys, Valdez Scantlin getting open and moving the ball, Jimmy Graham, they work with him so well. They're all on the same page, and he puts the ball up and they come down with it. And they just are creating huge plays in those opportunities.
What extra things does your defense have to do when you're dealing with a guy who can do that?
Well, it's obviously a big task for us in that, in that category. Our defense has a lot of work cut out for us. Even just trying to stay with their skill players in those situations, becomes a real problem. And you don't want to do that time in and time out. You just get worn out. They're better at that than you are. So try to minimize those situations. I think it's another season under Mike Pettin. What a great job he's done, bringing in new pieces to his defense to really kind of just, emphasize the points of turnovers and being aggressive and being able to set the edge, rushing the quarterback and attack, an offense via the offensive line and through the quarterback while they're playing tight coverage in the back end. So I think it's just it's another year where they've really developed, understand the concepts that he's trying to teach, and they've done a great job with it so far.
Against the Chiefs, your offense had a little bit of struggles with turnovers. The Packers forced one here. What do we see from them in this situation?
Yeah, they're dynamic at it. They really do a great job of attacking the ball in the pocket. You can see right here, this is Preston Smith, who's one of the new additions that they have here in the defensive front. He's long. He's very, agile. He can do a lot of different things, line up in a lot of different areas. And one of the things he does is he beats the tackle around the corner right here with a little rip move. He just extends his arm, gets into the pocket, slaps the ball away, and creates the turnover opportunity. I think, up front, they're doing a great job of pressuring the quarterback and, with Preston Smith on the outside. In this particular case, Darius Smith's on the inside. He's going to draw a lot of attention from the offensive line because he's another guy that's having a great year, a new addition to the team. And you can see the offensive lineman, the guard and the tackle, they just sit on the stunt. And when that happens, it just shortens the edge. Preston recognizes it, rips underneath, and you can just see his awareness of the ball. He reaches with the left arm right into the pocket right there, and he's just going to slap it away from the quarterback. So just great awareness on the ball. I think that's the biggest thing that you see time in, time out is just the way that they pressure the ball over and over and just create those big plays.
And then that linebacker, you've got to look out for Blake Martinez. What's he doing so well for them this year?
I think he's running the show up front. He's doing a great job of communicating to the defensive line and moving those guys into spots where whether he's aligning them to make a play or freeing himself up to be able to be the guy that runs through and makes the play and makes that great tackle. I think he just really understands the scheme, a lot better from that standpoint. So you can see him right here. He's controlling a lot from the linebacker position. He's going to talk to the defensive line. He's trying to widen out some of the stances and alignments based on the formation, the motion, and the backfield set. But once he recognizes the toss play, sees the formation set, he understands where he moved the defensive line. He knows he's got a clear path right now to the running back. He just was able to manipulate all of that pre-snap. And then you can see him just get downhill. He's got great speed, great agility, great film study, and a violent tackle right there. So just someone that's in complete control and understanding of the defense and able to dictate, where the ball is going to go based on where he wants it to with the defensive line.
Now that you're coming back from the bye week, what does your offense need to improve on to look out for these guys?
I think the biggest thing for us is we just got to stay consistent. We got to improve. We got to get better. We're going to have to be able to be balanced on an offense, both in the run and the pass. And certainly they got a great team, and we got to make sure that we're not turning the ball over. I think those are big things for us from that standpoint. We understand as a team that's the way the game's going to go. It's going to be 60 minutes. There's going to be some good plays and some bad plays, but we got to stay consistent all the way through. And in the end, we know it's going to be a tough battle, but we're going to do our best to see what happens.